and just say that I am broadcasting on HAPS TV, HAPS app, both in the iOS and the Android Play Store. HAPS, HAPPS. Look it up, download it, watch us there, and lots of people. Good morning. Good morning, barely afternoon to some of you. How are you today? I started yesterday showing you how to do some vacuum sealing and affordable vacuum sealing. And that is a $45 machine, bags that are purchased in roll format like this, bags that are 8-inch and 11-inch bags. And we have two people who have come in. Hello to you. Uh, Freezing your own stuff, especially if you buy it in bulk, is such a huge saver. And right now, with the pandemic, with so much unemployment, a lot of you really don't have a whole lot of choice but to buy in bulk, and sometimes a lot of that will go to waste, and it's a shame to see that happen, especially when you could save something. I have here, I'm going to get to this in a second though, 5 absolutely huge chicken breasts. These are about a pound and a half a piece, almost over 5 pounds, over 5 pounds for 5 breasts. So I mean that's a lot, and that something we could never go through. One breast will do a meal between Tracy and me, my wonderful wife Tracy, and the others go in the freezer. Matter of fact, they're probably all going to go in the freezer. We're going to have pork loin tonight, maybe a show here on HAPS. You may catch it on Facebook. You could catch it on Twitter, Periscope, the P word, which is going away quite quickly, and YouTube somewhere. I gotta relabel the titles and stuff, make it public, but those are going to go onto YouTube as well. So third person come in. Hi to you. Anybody who comes into the room here, just jump in there and just say hi, please, if you would. Tell me where you're from. Not that that's important. You could lie. I don't know. Where do I know? But it's nice to be able to share. And I like the community, you guys, the people that come in a room to communicate with each other. It's a big part of the show. And I hope you do that. I hope you come in and sit back and enjoy this. We are going to end with cooking today. I did a 2 hour and 11-minute show yesterday. I didn't cook a thing. Uh, my, my cook shows do that sometimes. Really, I don't think I've ever not cooked anything before. So that may be a first. So go back here on HAPS and watch that. You can find that also, I'm quite sure, on Facebook. And what's nice with HAPS, you can see the commentary from the different social media. And here, 12 people. Look at that. You guys are popping in the room like crazy. Thank you so much for coming in. I am looking at the screen. I'm actually, for usually, because I'm always looking at the wrong end of the phone, no matter what way I turn it. I'm looking over there somewhere. It's like I'm being interviewed. Well, that's right, but kind of a thing. Hey, I'm not looking at it, but in the portrait mode, pretty easy to look at the camera. So I'm doing that right now. How are you? I'm doing good. Doing really well this morning. So I got 5 chicken breasts I'm going to package up so that I can put those in the freezer. They get labeled, and it's just a heavy duty marker. That's the only thing I'm going to use for marking the bags. Could mark them first, probably easier. If you know for sure what's going to go in there, you know your bag's big enough. And even so, it's just a marker on a bag. You could easily just rewrite it the very next time. So beside this is a heavy one. Here we go. I believe it's 6 pounds, 6 pound pork roll, Trenton brand. This is my baby. This is Tracy doesn't touch this. No, she didn't like pork roll. But this is mild flavor. They have tangy, which to me has just a little bit of off taste, almost like it's starting to go bad. It's meant to be that way. Lasts a long time in the fridge, but if I'm going to take and divide this up into 4 pieces, so they're going to be about a pound and a quarter, pound and a half, I guess, almost a piece. And so it's going to be simple, cut in half and cut each half in half, leaving one out and finishing up with cooking a sandwich on a brioche bun with a slice of onion and mayo and some pepper. Just some pepper. It's gonna be really good. It's a tasty sandwich. You might be one of those ketchup people. I don't understand you personally, but I get that you like ketchup on your pork roll or your other sandwiches. I like ketchup. Trust me, I use ketchup frequently, but not on pork roll. Sauteed onions by itself, mustard, and even onions on that, but mustard on pork roll, very good. Ketchup, it's a you thing. That's not a me thing. So, how are you today? I hope you're well. I'm not getting any feedback yet that I see, which is totally cool. I realize not all the different services, all the social media things throw stuff here. Yeah, might be stuff that I can read later, which would be pretty cool. Wearing the I am a boiler operator. What is your superpower shirt? This was a gift from the guys at work upon my retiring in the latter days of December was the party. Back here, you see a wire coming down to a phone mount. That's where I normally broadcast in the, typically speaking, in the portrait mode here on HAPS. So that comes and faces this way toward the kitchen. That's why I'm always looking up like that because it is up there quite a bit. But it's convenient because you can see all the work areas that I'm doing stuff in here. So want to get started. Don't want to be a 3 hour show today. I want to eat. I'm hungry. I haven't ate yet, but I want to get everything packaged away first because that's kind of what the show's about is affordably using a vacuum sealer. Now you can spend three, four, $500 for the food saver plus three or whatever it is. It has advantages. Okay, it allows you to do liquids. It works like an iron lung, something most of you probably never even heard of. But an iron lung, you get in your lungs are not working properly. You get into this chamber that seals off at your neck, and the rest of your body is inside this chamber. And pressure is sent into the chamber, which compresses your chest down. And then it goes into a vacuum and it releases the air inside, and your chest expands. And with your chest expanding and your chest contracting, it's moving the lungs and it's breathing. This before they ran oxygen tubes up a cannula, put it to your nose. Much older, back in the 20s. God knows when iron lungs first came around. Food savers kind of like that. You're sealing the area around. This is the expensive ones. I don't know if that's the particular brand name, but it's you put food in the bag. You put the edge of the bag or most of the bag in there, and the air is evacuated around that. It's an actual case that goes around there, and that pushes the air out of the bag and allows you to seal it that way. Big, it's big, it's big. Mine, I'll show you here in a bit. I don't want to drag all the cables out. Let me go over here right now and show you this big, $45. Works like a champ, absolute champ. Boss, we'll call it a boss. Get back there somewhere. I'm working with my tripod, which doesn't always cooperate. Believe it or not, you would think something as simple as a tripod sitting in a cardboard box on top of your stove top would really cooperate well, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Probably a large pot would be a lot better. Not as much give. I mean, see that's just me bouncing around, and you know the tripod's top heavy. I mean, the phone's up top here. Yeah, the legs are spread out, but it's a small tripod. It's only about yay big. Alexis got her tripod yesterday and put it into action. She was last night. She was in landscape mode. Looked really good. I'm interested to see how she made out with that. If she liked it or not. It looked like it was very cooperative, which is great. I only saw. I don't know if I saw all of it or part of it. It didn't really look like a tripod. What I saw was probably just the mounting part. So I'm not sure what the tripod looks like yet. But congratulations. It's a handy thing to have because I could easily switch around from one spot here to the other. The only problem gets to be when trying to read the screen. Now, nobody's typing anything. No hi Johns, none of that, which is cool. You guys are here to watch the show. Many of you, I hope, are out in the world working, earning a living, feeding your family, and life is good. A lot of you, that's not the case right now. We are still in a pandemic, and most of us scared to death to even bother going out. I don't. I really don't. I'm pretty close to housebound, only because I always fear of getting sick and giving it to my wife, who is out in the workforce, but she's quite well protected. She's got plexiglass everywhere, and life is as good as it can get in a work environment for her. Sadly, she can't work home. If she could work, for another 10 years if she wants to, and it wouldn't bother me. Uh, Meanwhile, I sit home all day waiting for my wife to come home from work, which you know bites the big one. So let's get to work here. Not a whole lot of talkers in the room. I'm getting that. That's okay. Uh, Yesterday's show blew 1,000 people. Uh, no, you know what I mean. It exceeded. It blew away over 1,000 people. Uh, that sounds a little better, right? That viewed the show total, which is cool because the numbers are coming up. That's kind of the cool thing. Haps is new for me. I might have 6 or 7 shows now, so to see numbers building up, and it really for the show producer, the host, the star, star. It's a matter of repetition. You come out here more often, more people see you, more people follow you. Hopefully, follow. It gets better. I sure hope it does. That's what you're thinking. I know. We're going to go over though, and we're going to evaluate what we got here, and we're going to go ahead and start to seal some stuff up and show you how the vacuum sealer works. Now let me just over there, down, and try to get it here, something like that. Make sure that my tripod is balanced pretty good. There we go. That's not too bad. I think I can live with that. So we've got the breast, the chicken breast. Like I say again, there's 5 really huge chicken breasts in there. How much a pound? $1.99 a pound. This was that's Wesley Farms, but that's at BJ's, I believe, is where that was bought. And then we got this monster 6 pound pork roll, of which 4 pieces are going to be cut. 3 are going into the freezer, and use the hashtags to be seen in the discovery. I used hashtags. I used all kind of hashtags. Didn't they go up there? I used 5 or 6 hashtags. Alexis, oh my God! And search. We got to talk about that. We'll figure that out. But good morning. Good morning to you. Good afternoon. I'm sorry you're in my time zone. So I broke out this little guy yesterday. I might have to bring this up a little higher. There we go. Okay, broke it up yesterday. I wanted to show you a little closer because, and this might have been, I don't know, maybe it was day before yesterday. See, this is the hard part here. Make sure you start using your own hashtags. Man, okay, including throwing John Cooks as a hashtag. I think I get that. Okay. Um, that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. So on this thing, which is not that much bigger, like I say, than this box of 11-inch bags. They're practically the same size. Matter of fact, the by far the sealer is much thinner than those 11-inch bags are. So on top here, you get 3 buttons. I think they can be seen pretty good if I can get the shine off of them. Okay, we have a stop at any point. If you close a bag enough, any point you want to stop right there, you stop. It holds the vacuum, whatever vacuum it has on it, and allows you to hit the seal button. The seal button is what actually closes the bag up. And then the vacuum seal, of course, vacuums the bag up till it hits a certain millibar pressure vacuum thing. There's no pressure vacuum. It's 2 separate things, but a vacuum thing. And then the seal automatically comes on. And when that light goes off, there's little lights on top of these. When that light goes off, then you remove it, and you'll tell right away if you messed up. Okay, if you messed up somehow, in the vacuum process. You got liquids in there, you got food stuck along where you made the seal happen and stuff like that. Yes, I'll send you Hap Food hashtags. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Alexis. Ladies and gentlemen, Alexis, the queen, the queen of kitchen tools and how to use them. And you made goulash yesterday. I saw that. We were talking about that. And it looked really good, by the way. And I'm sure today it's that much better. The noodles sucking that broth and that tomato stuff and really good stuff. And Wayne is around in the house. Hey, Wayne. Yeah, this is the hard part. This is the part where I got to tilt down and look and try to read stuff because I don't have the second device up here. I know that's what I need to do. I do have my what do I do with it? I think it fell back here. Yes, I do have my iPhone 5 charging. It is. Look at that. It's charged a little bit. It's up to 20%. Okay. Do I have apps in it? That's the question. And even if I didn't have apps in it, I could watch elsewhere. But I'm not going to see any. I don't know what I'm going to see. But anyway, the iPhone 5 is there. I'll get around to using that. I'm not going to use it right now. I just want to get this kind of started and let everybody get a feel when they come in and watch this later or now, wherever you are, how this all gets done. I really want to tackle the pork roll first. I want to do that just kind of a cleansly thing instead of handling the chicken breast because the chicken breast, I think I got to go down now. There we go. Because the chicken breast, of course, you feel like you're contaminating everything, whether you are or not. So they can sit there for a second. Let me show you though the 8-inch bags, and I'm hoping I have enough 8-inch bags here for everything. I probably don't. I'm actually unless there's another box of 8-inch around that I don't know about. This is the end of them, but there's quite a bit there. These are 50-foot rolls. This particular company, I'll put it up there, and I like these bags a whole lot. One side is smooth, that's the side here. One side is rippled, and I think the rippling allows for a little stretching, probably durability. It's got kind of a honeycomb shape to it, so I mean it probably adds strength and structure to the bag too. So this is one big long, or was one big long 50-foot tube. Okay, check your. I don't do Messenger. I don't do that thing. I hate Messenger. Oh my God. Just if you could, Alexis, just post it on the on the YouTube channel. I'm sorry, on the Facebook channel. Yeah, I even posted just a few days ago that please don't message me. Uh, I I get so much crap. I get Snapchat hose. Forgive me, but that's what I get, and not because I follow them, they follow me, but hi, it's been a long time since I saw you, and I go on there, and there's this scantily clad lady. They always keep it clean because it's coming through Facebook, but then of course there's the links that go to Snapchat where that's the wild, wild west. That's just one big brothel, and that's it. I turn that off. I don't like Messenger. Um, when we chat here, I'll get you my phone number for sure. That's probably the easiest way to do that. Just so we can iMessage or whatever back and forth. I think you have either a 7 or an 8 maybe iPhone there, so I'm sure we could do some iPhone stuff. So we got the bags. This is what's left. I don't know how long that is without pulling it apart, but we're going to find out. So what I want to do is I want to mass produce this. Don't do one thing at a time, as Uncle Roger would say. Check him out on YouTube, Uncle Roger. As he would say, uh, you know, well, he probably wouldn't say assembly line everything, but don't waste your time. Don't do one thing at a time when you can do 6 things at once. In this case, 5 breasts, maybe 10 things. I got to get 10 bags. I got plenty of 11-inch, and I got this many 8-inch And they're, like I say, it's tubes right now. So I have to seal it, figure out how long I want it. So when it comes to the pork roll, I know because of the shape, I like to keep the casing on, by the way, when I work with this. I'll turn it around. Okay. I like to keep the casing on this because it helps the pork roll keep the shape. Believe it or not, the vacuum seal can take and oval it a little bit instead of keeping it round. The casing definitely helps in that department. And then just when it thaws, you cut it, peel it, and you're ready. Everything's fine. I am going to leave a section of this off, a quarter of this I'm going to leave out. I'm going to cut what I want for a breakfast sandwich, which is going to be a brioche bun. I might I might cook two. I'm starving, Alexis. I'm starving. Uh, Only because I got up early and I haven't ate anything. I had a really good cup of tea. It was oolong tea, probably my favorite. Next would be an English breakfast tea or an Irish breakfast tea. I like a dark, really dark, full bodied tea. I'm not into this, you know, green tea. Hold it up. It looks like the water that you dip the tea in. Not my thing. Not my thing. I understand health benefits. Totally get that. But you can't always drink health all the time. Nah, I mean. Okay, here we go. Let's get down here. I want to get down so I know you can see pretty much everything. Sure, trying. Let me do a quick check here. Okay, and just see if I do see haps on my screen. Haps, 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 haps. This part of the show drives people nuts. Does he even know that we're here? I've gotten that before. I should hold it so you at least see that I'm scrolling something. I mean, I've got Periscope. Ah, hi, which means it's just like, oh God, no. I don't want to. No, I don't want to enable anything. It's probably a really old version anyway. Let's see. Yes, it's telling me that they're moving. We know. Stop telling us that you're moving. I think that should be a thing to tell you once, maybe tell you twice, and then you never see that again. That would be ideal. There I am. Okay, let me click on me. And of course, the iPhone 5 is not the fastest phone in the world, and I do have to mute it. Oh, and I just remembered it's so small on Periscope too. They never worked that out. And of course, Periscope don't care. They're going away. Why would they bother trying to work with somebody who's actual competition? Well, this is just silly. I'm not playing with that thing. Here we go. So I'm going to work with the pork roll first. I'm going to do everything right here, but I got to make up some bags. Let's do that. Now I'm going to figure out about how much space I need for that pork roll. I think it's going to be hello from Pittsburgh. And that's going to, is that Pirate Bob? Is it Pirate Bob? It's Pirate Bob. It is Pirate Bob. Hello. And let me get the bags. Now I was saying that you bought the talking about the bag price. It's one of those things you get on sale. It really is. They can be expensive, but catch a sale through Amazon. I got four 50-foot rolls, two 11-inch, the big ones. They're over here. I'll show you that in a minute. And two of the 8-inch for $17, I think it was. Incredibly cheap, which means that it's costing me maybe a dime or something like that to protect a chicken breast for a really really long time. Something that is still $2 a pound on sale. It was a good price on sale. 2.49 is not unreasonable for chicken breast. So 50 cents a pound there, more than pays for the bag that you're putting it in. Think about that. You're still saving 40 cents if it's based on those numbers. So the bags, as it gets closer to the core, and it is a very solid core that they put in the center here. If you're a hoarder, you probably got 50 of these cardboard tubes in the center because they really are nice. But the boxes I save because when you buy the tubes in bulk or buy the tubes, typically replacement, they don't come with the box. That's going to be an extra cost. So you just feed it into. Come on down here. Where are you? There you just feed it into the box. Pull it out the opening. Okay. tuck it in. Now this thing, the cutting blade, okay, the cutting blade is just a zip slider kind of thing. Goes from one end to the other. It works beautifully, and it just snaps onto the box. Okay, let's get that end in. Work my way down to the other end. That should be good. Make sure your box comes out straight as could be. Now I'm going to come over here instead of working on top of food. And it's one of those that's a little backward for me kind of thing. Alexis knows that with the French fry cutter. Forgive me, the guillotine, the mandolin. I'm getting close with the name. I know I am. Okay, so I'm gonna figure pretty much if I'm cutting quarter pieces, and there's gonna be a lot of bag that's gonna be folding over. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to make about a 10 to 11 inch long bag here. Okay, so I'm suspecting that that's a good size for the pork roll. So I might want to go ahead and test that, but first you got to seal it. Let me just stick everything over here. There's a seal line, a seal bar on the bottom here. Okay, I'm trying to catch it with a good reflection. Here we go. It's this line right here. It's kind of a tape, kind of like a tape, and this is what heats up and does the sealing. Okay, this always goes into vacuum, and the vacuum chamber is there's a little nipple here, I guess, and that puts vacuum into this inside the unit because it seals with rubber gaskets all the way around the top, all the way around the bottom, and that takes and pulls the unit really, really shut so that when the heat bar hits that plastic bag, it melts that plastic bag and keeps it there until, let's see, there we go. It's dark over here. My God, why is it so dark over here? I used to have light. Still, that's not going to help much. But there we go. Anyway, you just put one edge. You just barely put it in. There is a line. You go up to the rubber gasket. Keep the bag toward the center. You got to press down on both ends and just hit seal. Okay, and that will seal the bag. Okay, cool. Don't wait too long. The bag has not only sealed, you can see the seal on that, right? There you go. Okay, the bag is sealed, but if you leave it on there, the bag is going to shrink. And packaging the meats. My wife is is texting me now. Let me get her on the Apple Watch. And yes, dear, I'm doing a show on packaging meats for the freezer on Haps right now. Come in and send. There we go. The wife's got the message. Apple Watch. Now let's go ahead and cut this. I'm going to have to move a few things. Let me just move the breasts for now. So I do want to save them for last, but I want to cut the pork roll. You can leave the plastic on. I don't know. I tend to just leave the wrapper itself on because it does come with a. Use a cutting board. Give me another second. I don't need to mess up my workplace too bad. True. I'm just afraid it's going to really blow out the video with the brightness, and it looks like it is. Let me see if I can move this up and down a little bit and make it a. See, I don't like to cover up. There we go. I don't like to cover up the text area on the screen because I know you guys like to read your text. So just a rough cut, and I'm going to cut it in the middle first. Okay, go right through there. So pork roll, you don't know what pork roll is. You might call it Taylor ham. If you call it Taylor ham, then you know what pork roll is. But it used to be the old story, pork roll. Come on, the plastic don't want to cut. I don't like this knife. It's a little bit concaved from, I think you can even see that, from years of sharpening it. Okay, but pork roll kind of looks like a bologna. Sort of looks like a bologna. Probably made the same way. If you look at the stuff that's in it, it's not bad. Not a bad thing. Tracy just wrote me back and said, "Oh, pardon moi." No problem, dear. You can interrupt me any day you want. Of course, I don't think that there it is. Ingredients. Here we go. Ingredients are pork, salt, sugar, sodium ascorbate, spices, sodium nitrate, lactic acid, starter culture. Starter culture. That's the stuff that's in there. I know it's got the word a whole of sodium a whole lot of times. That's okay. We'll deal with that. You sit there and get out of the way. Alrighty, I'm going to cut this one in half again. I might change knives. Again, I saw the plastic wrap on. Let me go ahead and take that off. As you see, it's got this kind of a wrap on there too. That's how it's molded, and that's how it's hung and smoked and everything else. It's a light smoke taste. It's full body kind of a thing. Okay, I'm going to pretty much get to the middle. Oh, that nice little cut. There we go. And get 2 equal pieces out of there. This one here for right now is the one I'm going to go ahead and put in the bag and see if my bag is big enough. I know it only fits in one way really, really well. And that's flat to the bottom, top and bottom. Try not to. This might, I might have the wrong bag for this. I might need the 11-inch bag for this. So I might have to save this one for the chicken. Let's just see. I swear I got them in 8-inch bags before. It's tight, but there we go. Okay. Just make sure you don't have anything. It's really that wrapper actually protects it quite well. And the big thing is you have to have enough room to get that flat inside of your inside of your sealer here. So I'm looking at it right now and saying I probably could have used another inch of length. Let me just see if let's see how this works. I'm curious at this point. So I hit vacuum seal. Make sure it traces message. Now the seal light should come on. Now the vacuum will stop. And now the seal light will go off. There we go. And I pull it out and it's perfect. It would already blow up with air if it wasn't sealed right. It's a tight fit. If you're real stingy with the bags, this is perfect. Gives me enough room to write what's in here at the top as if I don't know by looking at it, but I want to get the date on there, and I will write pork roll. So that's one bag. Now that was about 11 inches. I'm going to go maybe another inch in the bag. So the sheer fact that it's saving you so much time. How much? 55 of you have been in here. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. And Pirate Bob's the last one that said something. Yeah, sorry about the messenger thing, Alexis. I get a lot of notices from people. Matter of fact, I think it's still part. You can't really totally get rid of it out of Facebook. At least the computer app. I don't know about the phone app. I tend not to use that. I don't have Messenger in my phone, but I think it's built in to into the Windows app version of it. So this piece I'm going to leave out. That's what I'm going to be cooking here in a while. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one in half now. Just keep the camera on me for a minute. Go through there. Again, my knife that's just concaved a tiny bit doesn't get that last little piece. And I just love the smell of pork roll. It's such good stuff. It's a shame. Got a whole lot of calories to it because there's a lot of fat in there. A lot of fat and grizzly stuff. Sometimes you get a little bite of something that's off. It's somehow attached to a bone, or was. And again, I'm going to get the plastic off. And I got to cut myself a couple of bags that are. These are smaller pieces, though. I could probably go with about the same size bag. So I'm running out of 8-inch bags. But you see that it does fit into an 8-inch bag, and these things are all of 4 inches round. I mean, that's a definite. So, and I lost my bag. There it goes. So, and you can also tell the bags when you get them and they get a little chevron kind of a look about them when they get closer to the end. That might be a little bit too much bag. Slide it over here. Little extra bag. Doesn't hurt. Too much of an extra bag. That's a waste of a good bag. That's kind of how I look at it. So let me get down here again. I want to show you the whole sealing process again, if I can. That cut my edge a little weird, but that's okay. That's me. That's not the cutter blade. Okay. So you press it down, and when you hit the seal button, the vacuum literally goes on and pulls the machine really, really tight while that heater bar goes on. And it takes just a few seconds. I hit it. Takes just a second. As soon as the light goes off, boom, take, and there's your seal again. I gotta get the reflection just right. Okay. Open this up. I'm gonna go ahead and slide this one with the square end down. That'll buy me it turned the way I wanted to turn. Let's put it that way. That's okay by me. I just need to get the bag flat as I can, get it into that groove where that vacuum line pulls the air out of the bag. Hit vacuum seal. It'll start to vacuum seal right away. Sucks the air out. You can help it by maneuvering whatever's in the bag around a little bit. Vacuum will stop. The seal light just came on. Now at this point, while the seal light's still on, now the seal light is off, so we open it. As soon as the vacuum stops, if you start to see any air pour back into the bag, then you definitely know. And greetings from Sweden. Hi, Sweden. I'm trying my best to see your name from here. I'll catch it soon, no, but thank you for coming in. So the pork roll is in its wrapper. I like it in its wrapper. This one actually says Trenton on it because Trenton's the brand name, and it's Trenton's Mild. I like that. Okay, there's the bag seal that I just put on, which will be marked here. Let me come up. Greetings from Sweden, from JB, your residence. Hello to you, JB. Thank you for gifting. I appreciate that. Merhaba, as I like to say around here. Kind of a greeting, a hello, goodbye, like aloha, kind of like that. It's more of a hello in this native language, which I forget right now. It's one of those things that come up on your iPhone when you reboot it, and it asks you what language. It gives you a bunch of hellos and a whole bunch of languages. Merhaba is one of them. Actually got that from these spam bots that were out on Periscope for a long time. Half the people in your room were spam bots. And first thing they typically would say is hello. Then you'd see merhaba or some other word come up. You knew they were spam bot. I'll give Periscope kudos on one thing. They got rid of the voice. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. I didn't look far enough. Voice. Thank you, voice. Again, one of my favorite YouTubers. Listen to me. One of my favorite broadcasters. And thank you for the donations. Donations are very kind. So Periscope got rid of, a lot of their bots, most of their bots, I would say. Of course, then you see that your followers were cut in half because half of them were spam bots, but you don't want them anyway. The numbers look good. If you're all about the numbers, and yes, Mr. Greedy was, it's when you get feedback, when you see people, hey, that person must have liked the show a little bit for whatever reason, they followed me. It's a good feeling. It feels like you're doing something right. It's great feedback. But then one day to see half of them disappear because I got rid of the bots, especially if you haven't broadcasted in about a year, which I hadn't done, I go back and my numbers are cut in half. That's me, no problem. Appreciate seeing you streaming 3 days in a row. How about that? That's kind of what I expected to do. Not every day, but 3 or 4 times a week, maybe 4 times a week. But three was my goal. So I got this one. I got the. Oh, hang on a second. I got the bigger piece. Okay, got the big piece done. What is that? Me. I got my phone, iPhone now. If you tap the back twice or 3 times, I didn't touch anything. I don't know what happened, but if you tap the back of the case, it'll do something that you told it to do. In my case, if I tap it twice, it will open up Google Assistant. It's handy. Not now. I didn't even do anything, and it went off. It thought I tapped twice. 3 times shuts the thing down. So, I mean, I probably got to turn that off. So 2 pieces of pork roll so far, and they go right into the freezer after I get labels on them. Okay, I got one more piece to do, and that's going to be this piece here. So I'm keeping an end. This was a 6 pounder. Okay, so 2.61 rough math kilos for you kilo people. Now, I said I was going to go ahead and make an assembly line of this whole thing, and well, I haven't done it yet. But I'm going to go ahead and I should have cut all the bags. As soon as I realized the bag was big enough, I should have cut all the bags then, just to assembly line. Because assembly lining is really important when you're doing a whole bunch of stuff, especially when I get here into the chicken breast part of the deal. Okay, let me just move these out of the way. So 5 chicken breasts are going to be going in these bags. This looks like it might be just a hair tight. See, my measurements are very, very rough. There's no measuring going on here, trust me. So you hit the seal mode, it warms up that little burner strip. The vacuum pulls it tight, so it melts it together and holds it together. As soon as the light goes out, you got that really nice seam. Now you can wait, give it a few seconds because it's still warm. It's sealed really well, but it's still warm. So you might want to wait just a few seconds. And this is going to be a tricky one. I might want to, just for the sake of it, I think I'm going to use, because I think the bag is going to be a little tight. I could have gone another inch on this bag. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one in. This is the piece I was going to leave out. Doesn't really matter. Okay. But believe it or not, it does fit into these 8-inch bags. There we go. And I'm going to rotate it just a bit to align with the top of the bag a little better. So it gives me more room to play here. Okay. Now you'll find sometimes with the vacuum sealer that one way that you lay it down may not be as good as laying it down the other way. Like this is a lot flatter. Hit the vacuum seal. And again, as soon as the vacuum goes away, as soon as it's got a light on there, I'm not sure if you can see it, but as soon as the light goes out, you'll see air go back in the bag. Nature abhors a vacuum. It wants to pull air in. And if you have any leak, you're going to see it right away. I'm hoping not to have any leak. So I hit this. And it's in the vacuum mode, of course. Gets that certain point. The seal light goes on. Now, when that noise goes away, if I hear any air going in there, I know I've messed it up. As soon as the light goes off, pull it out. And piece number 3, man, we're getting some terrible lighting on this. Piece number 3 is done. So we got 1, we got 2, and we got 3. So we got over 4 pounds of, where do I have to go to show you that? God, I got to work on this. So you multiply by 0.45 and you'll get it in kilos. Pretty good. Was I close? I'm pulling it off my the top of my head here, but I think I was close. But yes, I always like converting Fahrenheit and Celsius. I've always enjoyed that. I know the math formulas for that. Boy, these are a little tight. I know the pork roll. I can write pork roll anywhere. I know it's pork roll. Okay, I'm just going to write it on the side here. I'm just going to go ahead, though, and put the date on the top. And whether it's 3-3 or 3-4, I'm going to write 3-4. I'm going to live dangerous here. Okay. So we got a pork roll and a date on it. It's all I need to go in the freezer. It's perfectly good. Get them all. And you can check your bags later as you're going along. Some of these are sat out for a few minutes now, but you would know automatically. You would know instantly. So $45 for this particular vacuum sealer. It's by Geryon, Geryon, through Amazon. Alexis, if you're still, you definitely still around there, I believe. I don't know if Pampered Chef has a vacuum sealer. I am going to write though here, pork roll. I got a little bit better space on the top here. And 3-4-21. That's done. My one looks a little funny, but I know it's not anything else. Because this ain't going to make it a year, that's for sure. Again, tight seal. There's no air bouncing around anywhere. You know you've done a good job. Can you double seal these? Absolutely. Why not? If you ever have a question on your seal and you say, oh man, I want to hit that again, just don't hit it in the same spot. Just don't put it in the same spot. Put it a little bit higher, a little bit lower if you can, whichever. Okay, again, pork roll. And 3-4-21. So they're ready for the freezer. They'll be going downstairs shortly. The one's going to be left out. And then got the chicken breast. Now, chicken breast, a little bit different story on them. Okay. Only because you got the contamination issue and all that kind of stuff that you got to worry about. Let's see how we're doing with the bags here. These are the ideal bags for chicken breast, even big ones. These are really good. The thing you don't want to do is you keep your contamination down to a minimum. That's why it's good to get the bags all done first, so you don't have to keep on reaching up and grabbing the bag, reaching up and grabbing the bag, and washing your hands 50 times, and all that kind of stuff. It's just unnecessary work. And I think the big thing about kitchen is that you really don't want to do unnecessary work. Now I'm making these a little bit bigger. They're big breasts. I think that I don't need a bag that big. The breast can squeeze down pretty good. You can displace them a bit. And I'm just going to grab this one. Now we got 5 of these. I may just run out of these 8-inch rolls. I might. Come on. There we go. Okay. So am I taking a chance guessing on the size? I don't think so. I think I got plenty of room to write stuff on. And I very well might have another box of the 8-inch around. It's very possible. You can only fit so much here and keep it handy. Okay, that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more, and I should just about be out of rolls. Matter of fact, look at this. I think I'm there. I am there. Wow. That worked out just right. So we know, I'm not freezing anything else, so I know that, see, it's attached. I gotta pull the roll out, actually. I'll pull it back this way. So the way they're attached, they just have a couple of pieces of tape at the top and the bottom, and that edge is already cut. But there's a really solid cardboard tooth. And I imagine if you're talented enough, you can make a little recorder, wind flute kind of a thing out of that. Doesn't seem impossible for sure. So I'm going to pull those little pieces of tape off. I have no more 8-inch. So you can see they will roll up on you when you get toward the end. So I got 5 of these. They're all ready now. What am I going to do? I'm going to seal them all. I'm going to go ahead and seal them all right now. That way I don't have to do that. I don't have to make just a final seal after the chicken gets in. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take and seal them all, put all the chicken pieces in, okay, and then do the final seal. All right, I'm cutting down how much actual touch the chicken time that I'm going to be doing, and how many times I'm going to wash and rewash and wash and stuff like that. Hit the seal button. The bar is heating up. One done. I'm just going to stick them over here. So I'm assembly lining this. I'm just hitting them one at a time. It just goes up to this little rubber cushion. There we go. Hit the seal. They say to wait 40 seconds. Between sealing, and again, there's a nice, I'm trying to get it so you can see it good. There's the seal line all the way across. That's 2. So I want to do this, and I'm really getting hungry there for that pork roll. Man, that's just one of my favorite sandwiches. Then you can do the pork roll, tomato, come on up here. The pork roll, tomato, lettuce, onion, California style, it would be called here. Just those 3, tomato, lettuce. Maybe throw pickles on it if you're crazy and you like pickles on your pork roll sandwich. I don't know. I don't do that. Not because I don't like pickles. Love pickles. I just never thought to do it here. So I'm going to seal this bag. Just takes a couple seconds, which is really good. Okay. I always like to look over the seal, especially when I get toward the end of the bag. I like to double check and make sure that it's a good clean cut. There's no reason for it to go wonky on me. And hit that, hit seal again, leaving one bag. Okay. Again, the seal looks really good all the way across. At any time, you can double seal, like I say, but you really, really should never, ever, ever seal over the same seal. It's just weakening the structure, really, of the bag or of the seal. Okay. Take that out. So now they're all 5. Checking it out, looks good. All 5 are sealed. Now they're ready to take and drop the chicken breast in there. Clean up any mess if I make a mess putting the chicken breast in there. I do want to trim, though. I want to trim the chicken breast up. My thinking, when it comes time to cook, I don't want to have to do all that. I don't want to have to trim up all the skin and the fat and the excess stuff that's on the chicken breast then. Plus, I don't want to waste the freezer space. And I don't want to, put excess crap in the freezer. I want a finished product that I'm ready to cook with and stuff like that. So 78 of you have been in here. 30 cents. 30 cents. Did all that come? Oh my God! Yes, it did. All that came from the voice. Thank you, voice. Whoops. I'm always scared to touch stuff because when I touch stuff, you guys go bye-bye. That's it. Not so much here. You got that big end button up at the top with the second button that says, are you sure you want to end, kind of a thing. That's nice because I don't go anywhere near there. But I do have issues, and I'm doing really well now. Let me go back. Of just scrolling up and down and looking at the text. And sometimes, especially in the landscape mode, it's very tough. Very tough to find the right place to make the text scroll up and down. So in the vertical mode here, much better. I think that's I've always liked a vertical format. I think in general that you saw up on the wall before, if not, check it out, where my camera mount is located. There's an old sprinkler head there from God knows when the house was built. Doesn't work. They were taken out many years ago, but the heads are still there. And I have a piece of baling wire comes down and goes around the gooseneck of the mount. So if the suction, because it's held on by suction cup onto a steel plate that I have mounted on the wall, and there's been times when that suction cup, for whatever reason, just fails. A little air gets in there and falls over. Well, I don't want my phone dropping straight down, smashing into the $300 teapot. A lot of money for a teapot. It's cool. I mean, I might just for the heck of it break out the Breville teapot here a bit later. But it's a teapot. It's on a conductive burner. Uh, and conductive heat is the quickest and fastest way to heat anything. It's just tremendous. I mean, a whole pot of tea I can boil. So let's say 4, 5, 6 cups of water that's in there. Boil that from cold water. Uh, when it comes to tea, I like to use bottled water. Coffee, I use the stuff out of the sink, which is good water. Our water tastes good. Um, but either way, it'll take it and bring it up to boiling or whatever temperature you have it at, because you can choose different teas. Oolong is 212. Uh, what's Jarling is 185 or something like that. It knows to stop at those temperatures because you choose what tea you put in. But there's a basket inside, and once the temperature of the waters come right, the basket automatically, it's held on by magnets that travel, goes up and down and dunks the loose tea leaves that are inside this basket like this for a certain amount of minutes, and then it beeps, and then it's done. And the amount of time that it goes up and down, number of times or amount of time it goes up and down, is relative to the type of tea leaf that you're using too. So it's a smart machine, and it works really good. It's just a whole lot of money. I mean, have I got $300 worth of use out of it? We've had it probably 5 or 6 years. You know, divide that into the number of cups of tea. I'm not a coffee guy. I like coffee, but I had to give it up. I've grown a bit sensitive to milk, and even the fat-free milks or the lactose-free milk, stuff like that. It's all like skim milk to me. It just turns the coffee barely this muddy gray color, and I hate that. This doesn't do anything for it. I may as well drink it black, and I don't like black coffee. So I switched to tea. And that's why I say when it comes to oolong, it's a very dark, heavy, foresty, earthy tea. It's great. Stuff is great. And just use a steel tea ball, fill that half full. For you people who've never used a tea ball before, I don't think I have it handy. No, I don't have it handy. It's over by my TV set in my chair. But the the tea ball, they split in half like a fortune cookie kind of, or a clamshell. You fill it about half full. This is for 1 cup of tea, mind you. You fill it about half full. Never make it heaping, because those tea leaves, the loose tea leaves, expand like crazy. Pretty much the fewer tea leaves that you put into there, the stronger your tea will be, because they're allowed to expand and water goes through them much easier. If you pack that thing full, you're going to have a cup of water when you're done. There's just no way that the water can get through into the tea leaves, let alone disperse back into the hot water again. So it's just a side note, but I might put that on for a quickie, 5-minute video just to have out there for people. I did it one time a couple of years ago now, and a lot of people seem to have interest. I just say it's way too much money. Way too much money. If you have a hot water boiler thing, or a tea, anything that uses conductive, and even stovetop, you got the time. I don't like microwaving water. I don't know why. I don't know. I just don't like to pick up a hot cup, and I want the water hot. I don't want the whole cup hot. But your tea drinkers, the professional ones, they'll take the hot water and pour it into the cup and warm the cup up and throw the water away. Put a boatload of tea leaves in there. Put the water in. Give it 5 seconds to steep. Pour everything through a strainer, and then they drink that. Us people that pay a fortune for a can of tea leaves, we don't have that option to get all that incredibly great flavor in 5 seconds. We got to dunk our thingy and let it sit there for a while to really get the full bodiness out of it. And that's kind of the difference between the haves and have-nots of tea. But there's so many out there. But I don't want raisins and flowers and stuff like that in my tea. It's just not me. It's not what I want. It's not a man thing. Uh, if I like the taste of flowers, I'm not going to let my manlyhood here get in the way. I could burn it. So anyway, that's silly. What are you talking about? So I'll go down here, get back into things. I don't have to get down that far, I don't think. Let's try it there. I'm just trying to keep ahead a little bit of where the text is already. I'm just going to move that back a little bit. Come here. So I got all these. They're all sealed on one end. Okay, matter of fact, give me just a couple of seconds, and I will be right there. I want to throw the pork rolls at least in the fridge for now. How bad was that, right? Okay. So let me get a washing up on my hands before I touch the chicken. Sounds a little backward, but I've been handling stuff. So quickie wash. Let me get the big bowl out instead of dirty and tender from bowls here. Forgive me for all my stuff and where stuff's located. Just go in there. Now, come on. Put some strong plastic on there. All right, yeah, these are just massive. I mean, I'm gonna handle them. I'm gonna start handling stuff. But it's a big breast. This thing did not walk much. See, and it's just there's not a lot to get off there. You can pull the tenderloin off. You've always got this line across here, dividing line. That's your tenderloin. It starts back here. You can literally peel it off. So you could go the whole breast, which eventually is going to get split. And I could go through here, just pull that off, and it does just pull off. Okay, and it'll go right to that line. Here we go. And the line might have to be cut, but even that I don't think so. But that's the tenderloin part right there. They can go in their own bag. Matter of fact, here it comes now. Yeah, the skin's a little tight there. But there's the tenderloin. So that's your McNuggets and things like that, your homemade McNuggets. So I'm just going to want to pull this sinewy stuff off here, the silver skin, get that off already. I'm going to work them all. Now I could use the cutting board, but there's an actual dividing line, and all whole chicken breasts are going to have this line right here, and that's where the tenderloin's attached. Okay, and you might call them the chicken tenders. I'm just going to go ahead and stretch and pull them off. And just to show that you can, there we go. And boom, that's two. So that's the actual breast right there. Which one's split? Again, of course, you got this silvery stuff. It's going to get cut off. I'm just limiting the amount of stuff I touch elsewise. I don't want to go with the knife right now. I'll do that. This is a smaller tenderloin right here. But again, there's that line. Just grab it and pull. Don't be afraid. It will follow that line. Okay, there's the breast. Again, with some silver skin on it. And here comes the last one. These are so big. Man, they're huge. Huge. A little skin there. You just grab and pull some of that off. But again, I go and I look and say, okay, here it is. You can start on that end if you want. I like to start on the inside and just pull. It's a little more caveman-like, but it's It's quick. It's relatively quick. Oh, unless you get one that doesn't cooperate. Okay, I wasn't on the line. There we go. See, once you've found that line, then it just pulls off. It's completely separated now, except for that fat right there, or piece of skin. Come on. He's a caveman. He's got a knife right there. What's wrong with this idiot? I know. I hear you. Alrighty, so they're all separate. Here's your tenderloins. You don't have to do a whole lot to trim them up. They're always going to have a little fat somewhere. You know, he's going to pull that off too. Watch. Now I'm going to cut that off. I just didn't want to touch the knife until I got some of the stuff out of the way. This thing can go. Give a quickie rinse. I'm not going to go nuts. I'm touching chicken for a while still. I just want my hands a little drier so I can handle the knife better. And do we have anything? No, nothing new up there. It's okay. It's okay. You guys are keeping me company. That's the important thing. Alrighty, so now I got the knife out, which I'm pretty sure I sharpened this knife recently. And we'll see. Okay, that's good. Just want to trim them up. Anything, there's this one area at the very top that's always got a lot of sinewy stuff. And that would totally gross Tracy out. She's just not into foreign products, as she calls them, in her chicken. If she ever bit in that, that'd be the end of her dinner. She couldn't handle it. Okay, so you see that line is gone, all but gone. I just got to take and go through with the knife and give. Whoops! I don't know if I'm going to use this knife again. This one, I'm not a big fan of this knife. All right. Instead of dirtying up a whole bunch of stuff, already it's all going to go right back into the same container, same bowl. That'll all hit for the garbage. There's that line right there. But now with the tenderloin off of it, okay, it's much easier to grab and to cut. Yeah, this knife's going to go. Hang on. I got my steel one really handy here. Just has a better grip about it. And by far sharper. There's no doubt it's sharper. Okay. Take that right off. That was super quick. In here, again, up at the top. She's going to have just some of this stuff that she's not going to eat. You got to be honest with you. Once I've cut all that off, I don't want that either. Yeah, it's not. You wrap that up in a McNugget or something. I'm not going to eat that. There's just no way. Okay, it's 2 of them. You know, and I thought there was 5 breads, and I'm counting 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looked like 5 in the package. It really did. So again, I'm going through here. Go back to the silver skin part. Get underneath of it. A trick when you're making ribs and you want to get the silver skin off the back of ribs. Okay. Take a chopstick. Flip your ribs over. Baby back ribs. Flip your ribs over. Get a chopstick between the bones underneath of the silver skin and just work it back and forth and over a bone and over another bone. And you can go the whole length of bones. Just grab it with a piece of paper towel and it pulls right off. I mean, super, super right off. It's not connected. You're just pulling it free from just sitting there, literally. So much sharper knife. I'm gonna get those little bits off there. If I don't inspect it really good now, I'm gonna have to do it later. Why not do it all at one time while I'm trying to minimize a mess here? Okay, and again, here's where the excuse me, there we go. Here's where the tenderloin was attached. A little bit up there. Could probably get away with that. And we got 1 more. So I mean, that's probably a 1/2 pound of waste, but This is buying stuff in bulk, and they don't make it pretty for you anyway at the stores. You know that. Okay. Again, we've got this whole section here. Get underneath there and cut. It's great to have a sharp knife. Do that. It's just a little tiny bit more. Right here I want to tackle. Okay. And there's some skin down that way. Over here, check up at the top. You'll find it just really 3 places or so that have the skin attached like that. Now, these are looking a whole lot better. Just a whole lot better. If I find anything like I just looked at this one and I come up with this, and did I say like? I said like. Oh, yesterday I was tearing 2 generations of people apart for saying like, and I just used it myself. That's okay. Like is a comparative term. It has a couple of meanings, but it's used improperly so much. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. That one's looking really good. Okay, 3 and 4. Huge one. I'm going to get a little more off there. I did this one with that first knife, and it was not exactly the easiest thing to grab that off there. Come on. There we go. Don't need to be a surgeon. You just need to be able to hack through stuff. So this is a half pound of stuff I'm not freezing. And I don't know what it costs to freeze a half a pound of stuff for a year or 2. Give me 1 second. But that's a half a pound of other stuff that you could freeze. Makes sense to me. Okay, just a quick wash. Go into the garbage. Picking this up and just chucking that in the garbage. Alrighty. I'd say leave the garbage open like I tend to always say, but the only problem with that is I'm standing there. So I got this, and grab a little paper towel. I think I have paper towel handy here. Give me 1 second. Where'd I put my paper towel? Paper towel, where are you? Oh, that was 5 feet away from me. Not getting fancy. These bags are headed for the freezer. Yes, I could absolutely clean that board, but I'm going to freeze the crap out of those bags as soon as I get the chicken in there. So what do I want to do? Do I want to write the names on here now while it's easy? Do I want to flip the board over and totally gross you out and say, yeah, now the chicken side's down? Well, how you like me now? There we go. All right, I'm just going to write on here. I'm going to do them all at one time. All at one time. Actually, I'm going to do it on the smooth end. Remember I said one end is rippled? Okay, I'm just going to write breast. We know what that means. And 3, 4, 21, whether it is or not. Okay, go through each one. Get that done, and that's something I don't have to do later. Breast, 3, 4, 21. And they're curling up because they were at the end of the box. I'm out of 8-inch now, unless there's another box around I don't know about. Here we go, breasts. And 3, 4, 21. I actually made up 5 bags, and I only need 4. Actually, I'm going to put all the tenderloins. How's this? I'll put all the tenderloin pieces in that 5th bag. That makes good sense to me. I'm going to do that. Okay, breasts. And 3, 4, 21. Okay, they're all done. Last one. I'm going to write tenderloins or tenders. I'll just write tenders. I know it's chicken. Can't miss that. 3, 4, 21. And you could write stuff on the bag itself too. If you've weighed things, you have say a pound of hamburger or something like that in there. or a pound and a half, you want to write it somewhere, you can write it right on the bag itself, and it makes life a whole bunch easier. All right, for now, I'm going to put that one aside, and I'm going to try to open these up. I don't have a open up jiggy here, so I'm literally dumping the breast in, trying not to touch anything else. Get them at the bottom. These bags are definitely bigger than they needed to be. I could have knocked some of the length of the bag off. That's one reason it's really good to do a sample bag maybe. And I should really know. I mean, they were big. I wasn't overly thinking about taking the tenderloin off, but then I said to myself, well, why wouldn't I? Okay. And again, these are all going right into the freezer. Every one of these bags. Just try not to get anything along the sealing edge. Well, that's a tiny one, huh? Wow, what a waste of bag. Ooh. It's long, but it's tiny. Try to stretch it out in there a little bit. Okay, that's 3, and here's the last one. Put number 4 in there, and not a boatload of viewers here today. Oh my God. That's okay. I'm doing this for us, and I'm bringing you along for the trip. How's that? That's really what I'm doing. Okay, so the breasts are done. They're at the bottom of the bag. Now I got the tenderloins. I'm going to go ahead and just check them out, see how they look. Alrighty. Gross, I know. Here we go. But now both sides of the board is contaminated. You can't get away with chicken. It's just a pain. Just a pain. I could have just left that side up. But I'm going to go ahead and just trim the fat stuff off of there. Okay, and that's beautiful now. Put you in there. And they should all have some fat, pretty much the same spot, just like this one does right at the very top. Nothing around the sides. Beautiful. Okay, and again, there's 4 of them. This has got some. They all have it at the top of the piece, the most wide part. This has got a little bit of the skin. Remember, I tore them loose. I didn't cut them loose. You could, of course, do either. Of course, you can do either. It's your chicken, right? Okay. Cut that off. A little tiny bit of skin here. Get that off, and that's beautiful. All right, that's going to go to the garbage. Oh, I found another little piece hiding. Oh, you didn't get away. So I mean, they are by far the most beautiful parts of the chicken breast is the tenderloin part. Okay. And that's your, again, McNuggets if you want to make them, whatever you want to do with them, that's them. Okay. And this is just waste stuff here. And I got that one last bag. We're going to go into that. And then they're all ready for the freezer, and I'm ready to have a sandwich here. That's going to be pork roll, onion, and mayo. Okay, pork roll, onion, and mayo. That's going to be my sandwich of choice. Now, last bag. Get it open. Get that breast in there. Tenderloins in there. Totally avoided the seal, but I had just a little bit of water on my hands there that time, so we'll get rid of that. Now we have 5 bags ready to seal. Okay, let me get rid of this bowl. Put these over here. Now I'm going to seal these up. Turn it over to my other dirty side now. Trust me, everything will be cleaned up, but this is a cleaner, contaminated side. I'm not watching him anymore. He's going to kill himself. I know. I hear you. Now, a big thing that I'm really leaving out here too is try to flatten anything as much as you can. It stacks so much easier. Okay, so this is going to go up into that vacuum chamber part. Lock it, vacuum seal. You can actually help it some. Push a little air out. Doesn't hurt. Seal mode is on. Vacuum mode is off. And seal mode is off. There we go. There it is. Nice one stiff bag. Now, you're not going to get super stiff because, like we did with, there you are. Hi. We did with the garlic yesterday. They were rock hard because of the structure. This chicken breast is still going to have some play to it, but the air is removed. It's sealed tight, and it's already labeled. Life is good. Let me put that back here. Get each one out. Just double check around the seal area. Make sure I didn't get anything on there. That's where, there's my paper towel. I keep putting it where I can't see. Does not hurt. Go in there and just hit the seal area. Could be a little moist. Could have some bits on it, according to what you're working with. Okay, get it in there. Click, click, seal. Finish sealing now. Undo. And the tenders are done. Okay, so that's 2 out of 5. So see, I've assembly lined this. This one looks really clear or clean around the seal area. So I'm going to put that up there. Click it down. Finishing up sealing. There we go. Another breast done. A smaller breast, this one by far. Okay, and you might wonder, well, why don't you, if you're worried about your thickness, why don't you butterfly them out? Well, then I've just deleted half my options. What if I don't want a butterfly? What if I want a nice piece of breast like that, maybe on the grill? Maybe I want to pound it out later and not butterfly it, something like that. Make a cordon bleu of some kind or some variation. And seal mode's almost done. And there we go. Alrighty, so it's already labeled, fully packed and ready for the freezer. Here comes the last one. Okay. And this is the one that was at the end of the bag. So it's a little crinkly. I should say at the end of the roll, because they come in rolls. But the seal goes way below there. It's just got to suck air out of where it's crinkled. You hear the tonal change. Yeah, you can hear a change in it when it goes into vacuum. Again, always check your seals. It's there somewhere. There's that line across there. So we have, whoa, took you for a ride, didn't I? So we got these 5 bags. We got the tenderloins, that's those. We got breast, and breast. We got 3 huge pieces of pork roll that are ready to freeze as well. Let me just put everything back in this box for now. Now I'm going to do a semi-quick clean. I guess get rid of this board. I do have more, I got a lot more chicken related stuff over here I want to get rid of. That foam container that it comes in, that water absorber thing that is also in there. All that's going to go to the garbage. So I'm going to eliminate everything I can. Everything that I've used here, I'm going to eliminate. Okay. There we go. I think it's off camera, but I'm just putting stuff in the garbage can. There's leftover chicken pieces that are just really inedible. Cutting board, all that stuff's going away. Close that off. I'm going to wash this down a little bit with some sterilely cleaner stuff. Letting the water get hotter. Ow, that's plenty hot. Okay. I'll clean up the whatchamacallit, the sealer in just a bit. I just want to clean this area. I'm only going to be putting a cutting board on here. What I'm going to do, maybe I can turn this inside out a little bit just for a quick surface cleaning. I'm not going to do the inside. I want to do that with some other stuff. I forget what Tracy has here, but she has a good cleaner that handles such germs so well. And I'm running out of paper towel here just as quickly as I ran out of bags in this box. So the box I'm keeping, the 8-inch box. My God, it's so bright. Why is it so bright? The 8-inch box I'm keeping. That's for the next batch of rolls. Whether I've had them or don't have them, I'll be ordering them. 8-inch is a nice size. The 11 is much better for handling steaks and larger things. It sounds kind of obvious, I guess. Alrighty. And guys, Computer Easy Listening Music, Volume 5.
Here's a station you might like. Easy Pop on Amazon Music.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to like that. Be back in 30 seconds.
I found a love for me. Darling, just dive right in. Follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet.
Really? It's a love song.
I knew you were the someone waiting for me.
Don't mind me, I'm just washing that knife up good. Washing my hands a third time here while I'm at it.
Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes, you're holding mine.
Computer, Volume 3.
By the way, I can automatically set your volume to 3 every morning before you wake up. Would you like me to do that?
No.
No problem.
Stop trying to be nice to me. Gotta plug in my phone. I'm dying here. In more ways than one, obviously. Look at that. Look at that, viewers. What happened? Oh my God. Hey, 116. That's a little better. Let me get you over here for a second. Hi, guys. John Cook's here. If you're hanging with me. Wait a minute. There's other stuff. There is other stuff. Didn't go very far. Just goes to the voice. Yeah, I do kind of miss. I wouldn't just remember the hearts. You guys remember the hearts, right? Not the money hearts. I don't want the money hearts. Go back to the P word place. But I used to like when people could just tap hearts and show me that they were enjoying the show, kind of a thing. There's not a lot of feedback unless you actually say something or type something here. So we're an hour and a half in. Uh, I vacuumed a lot of stuff. I demonstrated the vacuum sealer. I'm starving to death. Truly feel like I'm starving to death anyway. Uh, I got the pork roll. I'm going to cut some of that up. And I do have two rolls. So, sometimes I make a spare sandwich. This is no lie either. Make a spare sandwich, put it in the fridge. I'll take it apart, microwave the stuff on the inside, put the bread back in together, and let it all warm up nice. I don't like to microwave bread. Just you know how it gets. It's soft and tender and hot 1 second, and then it's a brick the next. We don't need to eat bricks. Okay, computer stop. Thank you. There we go. So I hope everybody's having a good day. I hope a few of you followed along here. That would be nice. Let me see if I hit there, hide comments. I don't want to do that. Turn off camera. I don't want to do that. Okay, so we'll leave it like it is. I'm going to go back to the pork roll here. Get some food going today sometime, right? Okay, here we go. This is pork roll. Come on, light. You're killing me here with the brightness. I literally think I have to go on the other side of the stove is what I got to do, because here it's just ridiculous trying to get things down that far. Plus, I know using a white cutting board is just blowing it away. You can't see squat. And I apologize for that. Probably half this video you haven't seen. I don't know why I get so much light comes in. Yes, there's a window over there. You guys have. I see the cord. I can only rotate this one way. There we go. Oh, there's the window. That's the window of death. That's where my camera always was hung up during the Periscope days. Alrighty. And that would face over toward where we've been facing. It's just totally different location. But the amount of light that comes in there is crazy. I got to unwind you because I got the charge cable plugged in. There we go. Get back down here. I'll just try to do it down this way, far as I can away from the light. That might have to be the way I got to do it. See, there's a certain point I see it where the autofocus or the light sensitive part goes whacked on me. So in a couple of things, I like to leave the wrapping on. Again, this is pork roll. It's a processed meat thing. A lot of people call it Taylor ham. Now this piece ain't going to last a whole long time, so I will be peeling it. You just said you don't like to peel it. Now, two sandwiches is going to be a sizable amount. Okay, especially this big. Now, there's two thoughts on pork roll. Let's see if I can get in this picture. Cuomo apologizes but won't resign as he denies touching anyone. Got a president that likes to sniff people. What's the saying? I got something you can sniff. But and we got Cuomo. It's just a matter of time that somebody always comes forth. And then before you know it, you got 10 more people come forward, just like the church. Same idea. One person comes along and says, when I was 5, the priest was diddling me. Well, next thing you know, you got 50 people on that bandwagon, whether they did or not. It's a sick, terrible, terrible thing. End of that. Okay, but how many people just jump on the bandwagon because they see a class action lawsuit coming? And you can't say, oh my God, they're religious people. They wouldn't do that. Bull. You see $1 million check at the end of the day, and all you got to do is say that, Father, may I grab your pee-pee? You're in line. A lot of people are in line. I'm not saying you. But there's two thoughts on pork roll. One is a big, thick slice, which is super crispy on the outside and just still tender on the inside. It's never mushy. It's not like scrapple. Scrapple again. It's all the stuff that they can't put into Spam. They put in Scrapple. Whatever's in the dumpster. This is a joke, but whatever's in the dumpster at the Spam factory. That's the stuff that goes into Scrapple. The Scrapple's delicious. It's mostly cornmeal. It really is. But there's two thoughts: a big thick slice, or a bunch of little slices. And I'm making 2 slices, one for each sandwich. And I'm making them thin. I'm just going to have raw onion and mayo on my sandwiches. That's it. Okay. But it's still, I mean, that's a quarter pound of meat. Whoops, easily. That's a quarter pound of meat right there. 4 slices. Now, what happens if you just throw these in a frying pan? You know, right? It's gonna bubble on up, bubble on up terrible. So, first thing I do, just to keep it honest. I got that light. What is going on there? Why? Let's go around about a half inch in because this stuff is big. You can't do the half inch with the smaller rolls. They come in 1 pounders. This was a 6 pounder. I'm just making slice about a half inch apart, about a half inch deep, all the way around the 4 slices of pork roll, which is there. Now a little trick I learned: you take a straw. Oh, here we go. He's out there now. What's he going to do? He's going to take a what? Let me move that. I think that's better. Hang on one second. In order to keep this flat, use a straw, put your finger on the end, or just bend the end over. You trap air inside there, which gives it strength. Go straight through, okay, all the way through. You can pull it straight out again, straight through, pull it out. 3, 4, 5 holes. I think the more holes, the better. This way, it allows the any steam that builds up underneath of it to come out, and they tend to lay a whole lot flatter. So make sure I got them straight here, and put a 5th one in, and pull that out. So now, there we go. Each of the slices have holes in the center. Kind of like, and I'm not going to give them credit, kind of like a White Castle burger. If you've had White Castle, I think everybody may have had White Castle out there. I don't know. You'll know that they have the 5 holes in it. It keeps them flat while they cook, and this really makes a huge difference doing that. That's not so pretty as the top one. I obviously did a much better job when the one it went through than the one that it went out of. But now they get fried at medium heat until they're really crispy. However much you want, you can make them to bacon. Literally, if you want to make them that far into bacon, you can do that. How far are we into this? 128 viewers. Good signal, it says. I never did put the TV on in the background, so I brought the mouse out and everything so I could operate it to see how the channel looked. That's a nice option to do. I like to be able to do that. But here's leftover. That's going to go into a food bag. Give me 1 second. Here we go. 1 second. Put that in there. I'm not going to vacuum seal it. You could. I'm sure. I mean, it stays fresh a long time. Long time. So just doing this and removing what air I can is good enough for the pork roll now to go into the fridge. But these pieces here, they're going to make it to a frying pan. Let me try to, I got to wash my hands again after handling the pork roll. Be right back, and I'll see you then. How do I turn this around? I turn it around there. Oh, look at all my crap all over the place. I brought the plants down, hoping I could close this window blind here better and knock out some of that terrible lighting that comes through there. Well, that didn't work. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm probably, where am I? There I am. Probably going to call the show quits here. I said I'd cook pork roll sandwich. Sometimes doing a show can be a real pain. I mean, you can ask, you can ask a Alexis, ask the voice. I mean, you don't, you get to this point where you say, okay, that's enough. Oh God, I had enough. Can't do anymore. There's my mount for my landscape show. But whew, I got my chicken. It's going to go down to the freezer. The pork roll is going to go down there too. Okay, let me just get this stuff out of my way. And okay, you fry pork roll. You put it on a roll with mustard. I told you he wasn't going to cook again. That's 2 days in a row. Why do I come in here? He's just teasing me. Tell you what, I'll put pictures on Facebook. I'm getting sore, getting really sore. This leaning over stuff's not really working all that great for me. Okay, but pictures on Facebook. Just look up John Cooks. You'll see me with the hat on, cook hat. And nah, I'm not going to do that to you. Sounded good though, didn't it? Let me turn you around. Go over here. Get you to the frying pan, right? Okay, we're at the frying pan. Turn that on. Start getting that hot. I'm not leaving you hanging like that. Okay, what kind of host am I? See if I can get you on the TV, though. That would be nice. That's not a live one. That's yesterday's show. We hit refresh. And there I am live, okay? There's my frying pan live anyway. Make sure I got the volume turned all the way down. And muted. Okay, this box I can see has to go out of the way. One, so I don't set it on fire. That would be kind of horrific about this far into the show. And we just get all this stuff. 3 pork rolls, big pieces of pork roll, and 5 bags of chicken breast. Earbuds out of the way. They've been sitting there all this time. Okay, so the pan is getting hot. I'm pretty sure you can see me. You can see the pan really well. That's good. I can still see. Oh, there's a definite lag. Wow, there's a big lag. Not touching anything in there that's in the sink here. That's still got to be cleaned. But while I'm at it here, yesterday you saw me talking about how I was going to make my hot oil, and this is it. This is a 3-day process, really. You'll see inside there. You'll see garlic. See, now I want the light to go through it. You won't be able to see it, but there's garlic and peppercorn in there, along with Thai chili peppers. Thai chili peppers were cooked in oil at a low temperature for about a half an hour or more. And then after that cooled down, I took all those cooked frying pan. I used that pan. And where's my finger? There we go. I used that pan and slowly cooked cloves of garlic. We buy them in bulk. They're already peeled, deveined, I like to say, and cooked them with a boatload of peppercorns. And again, cook them slow until they're all brown and everything. I could use that right now on my pork roll, and it would be a hot sandwich. It'd be the first time I ever did, though. He's debating. He's debating. Don't debate on the internet, okay? Just don't want any peppers falling out. Here we go. It's about 3 tablespoons full of my hot oil. It's olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Okay, so I got to watch. You can see you get a little smoke off of there, so I got to get the pork roll into the pan. Alrighty. There we go. Let that absorb the heat and not the oil. It should just fit. Oh. This is going to be one of them torture challenges eating this thing. I can see it now. My God. Woo! The smoke that was coming off of that. When I say hot oil, guys, I am not kidding. I'm not giving you any craziness about that. It's the stuff is really really super spicy. And Yassine, hello to you. Thank you for coming in. I'm just starting some pork roll, tailored ham to some people, a pork byproduct to others. I just took a 6 pound roll of that. Yes, 6 pound roll of that, and I vacuum sealed three large chunks of that, and also did five chicken breasts, 4 chicken breasts, and a bag of the chicken tenderloins that came off of those breasts. So far, I'm just grabbing breasts here. But there's a tenderloin bag. There it is, tenderloin bag in there as well. And but they're all vacuum sealed and ready for the freezer. So I think that's going to be super cool. I am for the first time ever, I'm doing pork roll in my hot oil, and I'm going to suffer for it. I can tell you now. It's just the woof of it coming out of the frying pan. Woo! But I can't help it. I love that stuff. See if I can get this out of the way. That's all the stuff that I vacuum packed today on this show. I just got to run that down to the freezer now. Life is good. Grab. Oh, where are you going? I want to try to do the voice here and really get in on that frying pan. Man, he does such a great job. There we go. There's the pork roll cooking. Now I've got over here, got two, what are these rolls called? I forget what these rolls are called. Oh, the brain deadness of being in your 60s. It's scary to imagine. They are brioche buns. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to set them on top of it. He's already been flipped once, so I just want to add a little warmth to the bun. I don't really want to cook those buns by any means in that oil, although pretty much doing that now since there's oil on the pork roll. The air is very heavy with the oil. I make some good hot oil. Woo. Window open. Really gonna let some light in here now. So I'm gonna let the other side cook. It's on a low temperature. Okay, I'm trying to get where my tripod is balanced best. I just have it sitting on a cutting board here. There we go. So I'm putting it up toward the top so you guys can see it best without all the text in the way. And that can be a little daunting to try to find a place to show you guys. Now, I already feel some warmth coming through the rolls, which is great. I'll be pulling them out. And I'll probably put them back on the other side. See, they got a little steam coming off the buns already. That's good. That's showing that they're out. Landed on my fingers, so I know that's warm. All right, time to flip it again. Now, if you look, I poked 5 holes in the center of the pork roll using a straw. I close off a plastic straw. I pinched one end of that to trap the air from escaping, so it adds structural body. And then I just went all the way through all 4 pieces at one time. And what it gives you, let's see if I can do this. Look at that. Look at them coming out. I don't want to get them all over the stove. I'll try to put my hand there. But there's all the pieces of pork roll that I cut through. So 4 pieces times 5 holes is 20 pieces of pork roll that I cut out to make it so they lay flat. You can make a big giant Pac-Man out of it, which looks really good. Oh, the hot oil! Wow. I think I bit off a little more than I want to chew. This one here is getting really close. Let's have some excess heat on that particular burner. I want to get them a little crisper by far. I don't like wimpy pork roll. Never really cared for that. But the The sandwich is going to be super great if I can get past the heat. Again, I'm just going to put these on just to keep them warm. They're brioche buns. They're kind of ideal for that. The pork roll is almost the same size, just a little bit bigger than the bun. So it's not as if you're going to bite into the bun and not get any pork roll flavor. And pork roll is kind of a smoked ham flavor. It's a pork byproduct. I'm sure you wouldn't want to sit down to a meal of the stuff that's not put through a separator, because that would just be nasty looking. Although a lot of people around the world, I mean, they absolutely love their innards and such things. Okay, I got the mayo. Now I'm getting an onion. I was hoping we had an onion cut. Oh, wait a minute, we have an onion cut. Cool. Cool, got the onion cut. So I was showing off there's yesterday's job of hot oil. This is the bottle, this is the stuff. Thai peppercorns, or Thai peppers rather, dried Thai peppers. Look at all the garlic floating around in there. It's all pan roasted garlic. And I think I can pull those, I can pull the buns off now. They're steaming like crazy. I think you might be able to see the steam coming off of them. Okay. Normally, I'm going to use one last flip. Just put these off to the side on the plate. Put those two over. They're almost exactly how I like them now. I like them crispy, but not burnt. Over here, if you can see it, I don't think you can see it. What am I doing wrong? There we go. Oh yeah, I'm gonna see it anyway. It's way too bright over there. I'm gonna be cutting a couple slices of onion. Nothing big deal going on over there. My choice of eating pork roll typically is raw onion and mayo. Now you can add to that tomato and lettuce. Make it California style, as we call it. You're from St. Petersburg, was it? So you've heard of California style, I'm sure. Last time I paper towel in that roll. Just got to wipe this knife down. This has been cleaned half a dozen times now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my onion trick. I'll just show you instead of fully demonstrating it though. But when you get close, just take a fork, put it in the root end, and make sure that it goes halfway in. What that does is it actually bites into all the layers of onion. Then when you cut it, it doesn't fall apart. They stay into perfect slices. Okay, and that's all I need. I'm going to just have, as you can see, just about that thickness on each one. Not super thick. That's okay by me. Alrighty, I'm going to put that on the top. Actually, I'm going to probably come over here. I'm going to assemble everything over on this side. Here we go. Let me just flip that right around. And I probably just have to rebalance my tripod. I just have to move one of the legs around is really what I'm doing. And, okay, so I got the two bottoms. I got the two tops. On the two tops, we can get mayo. The fun part's going to be and forgive me, but I'm a spoon user when it comes to mayo. That's a little more than I wanted. Probably could spread it on that one, make it much easier. The stove is off, by the way. I just have the pork roll sitting there now. Already, yeah, I could have easily done that. So I'll put that on the bottom too. That oil is still something to breathe. I made a really crazy hot batch. Is what I did. You see if I can. Yep. Okay, I'm facing the right way. Alrighty, so the mayo's in place. Now let's get that onion apart. Here we go. This one's a little thicker. A little thicker. I'll survive that. I'm not gonna cut more onion up. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna bring the frying pan to the sandwiches. Here's our pork roll done. Okay. I'm gonna stack it all on top. Get any excess grease off of these things because they do have their own grease. Plus that hot oil is there. Alrighty. That's that little crispier one that cooked up. And matter of fact, I'll even turn this one upside down to show even more crispiness. So I got mayo. You go ahead and rub these two together just to spread that mayo out a little bit. Put them on and flip them over, and they're ready. Okay. Now, if you have a sloppy hamburger, alrighty, you got too juicy, you got it medium to rare, and all that stuff is working its way down to that really thin bottom bun and it's turning into liquid on you. Flip your burgers over. Just flip your burgers over. Now gravity's going to put it all back into the top bun where it's got a whole lot of space that it can absorb into. So what do I have to do now? Oh God, this is the fun part. Oh, hit the flip button. Where am I? There I am. Hi guys. Hi again. Look how much light's coming in now that I got the window open up. That's it's too much. It's way too much light. But while it's hot, 2 slices of pork roll because we're ending the show, and I promised I cook, so I cooked. Uh, thank the 150 of you who come in. It was really nice to have some company here in my just shy of 2 hour show. But I did a lot. Did a lot of vacuum packing. If you're just coming in, just looking at it now, vacuum packed 4 chicken breasts and a pack of the tenderloins off of that. I trimmed everything up, cut and sealed the vacuum bags, and it's very, it you don't need a $400 vacuum sealer. Mine's $45. It does a beautiful job. Again, it's by Geron I'm sorry, Geryon on Amazon. $45 last time I looked, and it does an absolutely great job. I got 4 boxes. That's 2 boxes of 11-inch and 2 boxes of 8-inch. That's 50-foot rolls of vacuum bags for $17 roughly. So it gets down to pennies to save a steak or save, in this case, chicken or anything else from getting freezer burn. Freezer burn is even if it's perfectly fine, but it's got ice in the bag. It's all crystallized up. It looks like crap. The flavor's been drained out of there, and it's gonna. It may not have a freezer taste. Probably does have a freezer taste if you got air inside there and water and moisture in there. So the 10, 15, 20 cents according to how big a bag, when you catch them on sale, got to catch them on sale, is so worth it. You got a $12 steak that you bought a whole pack of steaks, you got them on sale, they're $9, you save $3 a steak, let's say, and you want to freeze them because you bought them in bulk. Well, vacuum sealing, they're good for a year to 2 years. Some people say longer. You can, you know, judge it yourself how long you want to leave them in there. But there's nothing that's going to be in there that's going to harm it if it's sealed proper. And you can tell as you're sealing if you've sealed properly or not. Just don't drop the bags on the floor when you're searching through other bags and stuff like that. You will break the bags; they get brittle if you leave the in the frozen state. They get really brittle. So here we go. It's not going to be that hot. I like hot food, so I think this is going to be good. Mm. I hate making a mess. Oh God, I hate it. This is gross. What the? I don't even have napkins. Here come the heat. Oh, Lordy. Here come the heat. That's all I got to say. It'll max out. Oh, little nose drip too there going on. It'll max out at some point, but that's tasty. That is tasty. I love pork roll. Pork roll, onion. I hate to show bites. A pork roll, egg, no egg. You could do pork roll, egg, and cheese breakfast. Do that, and notice the bun and the pork rolls the same size, and this is a huge pork roll. Mm-hmm. More than acceptable as far as the heat level goes. So 4 or 5. A lot of people will be tearing up by 4 or 5, but I do a lot of hot food. So that's a nice burn, just a nice burn. So I said I'd probably just eat one and put the other one when it cools down a little bit in a bag and eat it later. I don't know. I'm starving. Zoom self-test link notified by email. I got jury duty coming up. I told you this, guys. Grand jury duty starting next Wednesday for 18 weeks. 1 day a week. 1 day a week for 18 weeks. We'll see how that works out. Unless you're on a case, then you're there for however long it takes for you to decide whether or not your grand jury uh, says that it's going to go to trial or there's not enough evidence to go to trial. So one or the other, but you judge whether or not cases are going to trial. It's pretty important. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll take another bite out of here, and I'm going to say goodbye, guys, and finish this, and probably eat the other one. I'm starving here. I just haven't ate today, and it's 2:30. Be dinner time pretty soon. Mm. Pork roll, Taylor ham, whatever you call it. Mm. It's great stuff. Hot oil can build up a little bit, but you get used to that. Peace, guys. I'm going to go. I want to thank you for coming in. Anybody who watched the show, more than 10 minutes, I like to say. If you sat here and dealt with me for 10 minutes, then please follow. You're really nice. And share if you could. Trying to build up a good following here on Haps. Um, Between Haps and the other formats out there yesterday, I had over 1,000 views on the show that I didn't even cook on. Of course, I had Alexis in here. Now, come on. No doubt that absolutely helped. People clicked on what's happening. They say Alexis is on John Cook's show, and a lot of those people come in. So I'm not fooling myself saying that, hey, you just jumped to 1,000 people. You're a superstar. I'm not that crazy. I've been around too long to think that for sure. By the way, I do have the contacts in. I can't see you. The rest of the kitchen, the TV behind me, whatever, is so razor sharp clear. But contacts just they don't let you see. Now, let me see here now. Like right now, the screen is very clear. Still have trouble with the person's name because they're real tiny. But the what you're saying, I can easily read that so well. So contacts are nice. I forget though a lot of times to take the and I'm one of those people look better with glasses. Yeah, yeah. See the difference. Look like it's amazing. It's amazing what glasses can do for you. So a lot of times I'll realize, or I won't realize, I'm walking around with my glasses on. So I got 2 sets of lenses for each eye, and looking around the kitchen now, it's not so clear. And if I do enough of this and reach there and stuff like that, I'll get dizzy. This is perfect. This is like a 10 again or 15 again or something. You know, this is good for this kind of distance. Although they're my regular progressive lenses. I haven't bought a specific pair for reading purposes yet. Cheaters, haven't got that. I have a pair, but they're too strong. I need one that's it's really good if I'm on my cell phone. That's really good. But if I want stuff from here to 3 feet away, then I need something a whole lot less stronger. And I've been really slow about getting that. Peace and merhaba. One last bite for the road. Pork roll, Taylor ham. Call it what you want. It's sort of a north central eastern thing that is catching on. But you have states like New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland. It's big in those states. They call it different things. There's tart and there's mild. I like the mild. Tarts taste sour to me. I wouldn't know if it went bad. It's that kind of a tang, but a lot of people like that. A lot of people don't like hot and spicy stuff. But and this is not super hot. This I say on a 1 to 5, it's probably about a 2.5. Um, Only because I use very little oil in there, just enough to gag me because the smoke coming off of it was pretty tough. Thank you. I'm just babbling on. That 2 hours, 6 minute show. 158 of you, 30 cents. Thank you for the donations. They're great. I will say this again. Donations, in show donations like this, I want to build them up a little and then donate them to people who need them more than I do. So you're giving and allowing me to give to somebody who could use 30 cents more than I could. Or I'm retired now. My pension started coming in March 1st. My pension showed up in the checking account with the federal tax already taken out. They don't take state tax; they take federal tax out. So I still owe. You always owe. You always owe, no matter what. You're always owing something. But pensions come. Social Security is on the way, and at any time I have a really nice 401k plan. They want me to take out about 2,000 a month, and they say you'll live forever. You can live to 95, and you'll still have tons of money left in your 401k. Um, I don't think I'm going to make it to 95. If I make it to 80, which is a reasonable number, I'm a male. I'm of that generation who probably abused herself a little bit too much. So you know, at 80, I could grab over 4 grand a month out if I needed it. We don't need it. We're making the bills. My wife works. Someday she'll have a pension if she ever decides to retire. Sadly, doesn't have a 401k. Wouldn't that be nice to have that extra income in just for all occasions? You can never have enough cash. Uh, I think the richest person is going to go in and see that a candy bar costs $3 and say, "I'm not buying that." They can have $10 billion, and they're going to grab the dollar candy bar, or they're not going to, or there is no dollar candy bar. They're not going to grab the $3 one. Money means the same thing to everybody. Yeah, they have elaborate homes, elaborate ships or boats or yachts, cars, things like that. But when it comes down to going into the supermarket, they're me and you. They're if they do their own shopping, but they're me and you, and they're looking for bargains just like everybody else. They Most rich people, especially in the tech age, uh, were average people who had a really great idea, ran with it, got the best lawyers. You need lawyers to be really rich. People who can handle all the stuff like Zuckerberg has to do. Zuckerberg don't like him. He's an alien. He comes him Bezos. What freaking planet does he come from? He doesn't look human. Uh, Elon Musk. I don't. I like Elon Musk. I like that he dreams of something, or his people dream of something. He says, "Let's do it." But, and that's the big but. Uh, uh, the Tesla thing, we're a long way away from Tesla really being a moneymaker. SpaceX has all the potential in the world, and he's really doing great. And Starlink, there's thousands of satellites that crisscross in the sky right now. I know people who have the Starlink TV system, and it's spotty. It's either signal or no signal. But when it's signal, it's good. Your antenna goes up and it kind of moves around, and but it's facing anywhere. As long as it's facing towards space, it's good. And they have really decent up and down load speeds. And then they'll die down because they're in between satellites, but only because there's only so many thousands up there now. And the goal of Starlink is to have 24,000 satellites up there minimum. And the FCC has even granted them more than that. So at some point, probably not that distant, they only launch up 60 at a time, which seems like a long way away from 24,000. But once they get them all up there, or they shoot multiple missions up there to get them up even quicker, then all those gaps between one satellite and another as it goes past and as your antenna is searching and stuff like that is going to be filled in. And the whole world, you could be on a mountaintop, you could be down in a valley just with a view of the sky. Doesn't matter where you're at in the planet. You could be on a boat. You'd be able to get Starlink uh, TV, communications, internet, of course. Everything will come through there. So Starlink's going to be big. I don't know if there's ever going to be an IPO on that or not. But if there is, not a bad thing to get into if you're in there for the long run. See, he was going to go 20 minutes ago, but he did cook. He cooked today. He didn't cook yesterday. I'm going to remind you of that. But 1,000 views. That was really cool. Thank you for that. That was nice. Everybody who popped in at least 1 second and counted for something. That was nice. But the day's coming when your Comcast, your Xfinity, your Verizon, whatever you get your TV through, is not going to be competitive. It's really not. Satellites, once they're up there, they're pretty well just going to float around. And you think, you say, oh my God, 24,000 satellites floating around in space. They're going to ping off each other. They just mesh beautifully as they go across. And they have, and if they do drift and stuff like that, they're autonomous. They actually can maneuver themselves back exactly where they want to be. Just like we saw the two return modules come down and land perfectly within a split second of each other. That's miracle stuff that man is able to pull off. And Musk gets the credit, but he's got thousands of people working for him that are super brilliant. And most of these guys we know are nuts. It's just true. They're whacked in the head, but they're whacked in the head in a way that advances society, and it gives you a peek of what future could be. And we don't know 5 years from now, let alone 100, what what the world's going to look like technology wise. But I can say one thing about that is that it's going to be absolutely incredible. If you're a young person now and somehow watching this, what you see, I would love to. I'd love to be around in 50 years and just to see what the planet looks like. Of course, your naysayers, your people who used to say global warming, now they call it climate change because half the freaking planet's freezing. Seriously, why? What's the matter? Your global warming thing didn't work. My favorite Trump quote, I gotta say, he was doing one of his rallies, and he out of nowhere said, "Ooh, Joe Biden says in 250 years the oceans are going to climb 1.5 inches," and he like ran around. Ooh, we're drowning. Kind of how I feel about it. I don't think man can kill the planet. I think it's all cyclical. Every 10,000 years, we go through an ice age and a hot age. We go through them. It's cyclical. The sun is really crappy now. It's starting to get a few more of the solar flares. But solar flares is immensely important to keep our atmosphere in shape. That's a real biggie. We have low solar flares. We have poor electricity in the atmosphere to protect our Earth. So right now, low solar flares for 20 years or more. We missed a whole 11-year cycle where really strong and really weak solar flares were happening. Right now it's low and coming back a little bit, but nothing like it needs to be to recharge our atmosphere, which protects us from so much stuff. Amount of solar radiation, yeah, stuff's going to melt. It's going to freeze again too. We're just not here long enough to really see it. We do core samples and all this crap, and it all proves it out, but it's typically hushed. Am I a conspiracy guy? Sure. Of course I am. But there's a lot of truth. Just because it's conspiracy doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean it's false. There we go. However you're looking at your conspiracies. Gotta go. Bye guys. I really stayed a long time. And my wife is out there texting me again. I want to get back to her. Peace. God bless all you guys. You have a great day, okay? And we will see you next